as planter, as planter. देखो, the honor of their crop, who were mostly of British or European organic organic are preferred as planter. Were preferred as planter. Tea, coffee, indigo. The crops were growing in a largest is known as
मीटिंग है देखा हम लोग बहुत चलो
the indigo. The crops were growing in a largest is known as plantation.
चल रही है पता नहीं क्या चीज़ चल रही है
The
मीटिंग हो
owner of their crop, the owner of their crop, who were mostly British or European organic, were preferred as planter.
गुड मॉर्निंग दोस्तों कैसे हैं आप लोग
Indigo is a blue dye obtained from the indigo plant which grown in the tropics, because it grow because it used to coloring textile, because it used to color. Indigo was in great demand in Europe because it is grown in a European colonies of a Caribbean Caribbean. Islam
नाइस
Islam
गुड मॉर्निंग सुबह का सभी को गुड मॉर्निंग और आप लोग कैसे हैं
because it is grown in a European colonies of the Caribbean Caribbean. The indigo was great in demand in European because
मिट्टी कहीं
Europe
कर देता स्टैंड
because it
अंकित
grown in
कुमार है
because because it's
हेलो
grown in European
गुड
colonies
मॉर्निंग
because it's
अंकित जी
grown in
गुड
European
मॉर्निंग
colonies
गुड
of
मॉर्निंग
the
जी
Caribbean of a Caribbean of the Caribbean. Indigo was the great demand in Europe because it is grown in Europe colonies of colonies of the colonies of the Caribbean. Indigo, indigo is a blue dye obtained in indigo plant plant which is grown in the tropics, which is grown in the tropics. It used because it used to coloring textile. Because it used to coloring textile. Because
पता
it
नहीं कौन सी चींटी चढ़ गई है क्या सर
because it used to coloring textile. Because it used to coloring textile. Indigo is a blue dye obtained, which is obtained in an indigo plant.
थैंक यू लाइक करने
Which
के लिए
is
थैंक
obtained in
यू
an indigo plant. नहीं, blue dye obtained in indigo plant, which which is grown in tropics, because it used for coloring textile. The British European uh, indigo was the great demand on in European because it is grown on Europe because it was grown in a European colonies and Caribbean. European colonies of the Caribbean. Indigo is the blue dye which is obtained which is of no, indigo is a blue dye obtained in the indigo plant, which is which is grown in the tropics. It used because it used maybe because it used for coloring textile. Indigo is a great demand on European because it is grown in the European colonies of a Caribbean. Caribbean.
थैंक यू लाइक करने के लिए थैंक यू बाप रे बाल इतने बाल ढेर सारे बाल टूट जाते हैं हमारे सर से क्योंकि मेरे सर में बाल बहुत कम हो चुके हैं खत्म हो गए पता नहीं क्या हो गया कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा लोग को बुला रहा बच्चे तनिक जैसे लेटे धीरे चले जाओ वहाँ से यहाँ बाहर चारपाई नहीं पड़ी था दादी की
बाहर जाइए
यही यहाँ चांदी है ये नीचे रखी हुई है कप में यार ना पता नहीं क्या चढ़ गया सब मिटना कोई आ रहा है बर्दाश्त नहीं हो रहा मुझे नहीं क्या बटन दबाए बहुत चल रहा सर में चल यार हमारे साथ सुमिरो बलम मन लगी निकला क्यों नहीं मैं जा रही हूँ लेकिन फिर भी
The Rajwari system was introduced by Thomas Monroe. Thomas Monroe. The settlement was made between the riot and present riot riot or the present. The settlement made between the riot and the settlement made between the riot or the riot or the present. The riot or the present. The riot or the present. It is applied in it is applied in Madras. Madras. It is applied in Madras and Mumbai, Bombay, Bombay Presidency, Madras and Bombay Presidency. It was applied in Madras and Bombay Presidency. It was applied in the Bombay and Madras Presidency. It was applied in a Bombay and Madras Presidency. It was up, mm, it was it was applied in a it was applied in a Madras and Bombay Presidency. The Ratwari settlement was introduced by Thomas Munro. The settlement was made between the settlement was made between the ro- the rot the riots or the prison. The riots or the prison. The riots or the prison. The settlement made between the riots or the prison. Mm. It was applied. It was applied in Mundra. It was Madhya. It was applied in a Madras and Bombay presidency. Madras and Bombay presidency. Write the short note.
गुड मॉर्निंग दोस्तों, सुबह का। क्या है भाई, कमेंट नहीं कर रहे हो कोई भी?
Because the company in India fo- forced farmer in Bengal and Bihar to grow it. In Bengal and Bihar to grow it. It is great demand in European because the company of India because the company in India forced farmer forced farmer in Bihar and Bengal to grow it. The British the British made the British made the Indian the British made the Indian the British made the Indian the British made the India present growing commercial of crops such as indigo, tea, coffee, rubber, jute, cotton, silk, opium, etc. Many of which could serve as raw material of the industry. The British made the Indian present grow commercial of the
पहले से पढ़ाई
British made the Indian present grow crop. The British made the Indian present
सर में लिखना भी
grow commercial of grass crop, grow commercial grow commercial of cash crop, grow commercial of cash crops such as indigo, tea, coffee, or of cotton, jute, rubber, or cotton, jute, rubber, etc. Many of which would raw material, serve as raw material of their industry.
और
The
बताइए आप
British
लोग
made
कैसे
the India
हैं?
present for grow commercial of cash crop.
और गुड
The British
मॉर्निंग।
made the India
कमेंट तो कर
present
दीजिए,
commercial
सुबह
present
गुड
grow
मॉर्निंग नहीं बोलेंगे।
commercial of cash crop or cash crop. The British made the India present of commercial and of commercial and the Indians present the British made the Indian
गुड
present pro
मॉर्निंग, सुबह
commercial
सुबह का प्लीज
or
कमेंट करिए आप
cash
लोग।
crop or cash
और आप
crop
लोग
such
कहाँ से
or
हैं?
cash crop or cash crop or cash crop or cash crop. The British made the India present pro commercial or cash crops such as tea, coffee, rubber, cotton, silk, jute, etc. Such as indigo, tea, coffee, cotton, jute, silk, rubber, etc. The Company of India, many etc. Many of which would serve as raw material, 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 many of which would serve as raw material of their industry, of their industry, of their industry,
5:24।
of their industry, of their industry.
चले हम भी काम करना, हमको भी थोड़ा सा ज्यादा काम है आज।
It is made the India present pro commercial or pro commercial and cash crops such as indigo, tea, coffee, rubber, jute, cotton, silk, etc. etc. Many of which would serve as many of which would serve as raw material, many of which would serve as raw material of their industry, many of which would serve as raw material of their industry.